Beautiful day, dude.
Oh, it's a beautiful day for a picnic.
Good thing we got this Redcon one towel.
You know, we need to do this all the time.
Yeah, but we should probably bring Dave next time.
I know.
But
yeah.
Either way, let's set up here because this is great.
What are you guys doing? Is that pie? I want pie.
Hey, Thomas.
While you're here,
Can I have some pie?
We kind of wanted to just do this.
yeah, this is supposed to
one-on-one.
Rudy
Come
Steffen
on.
thing.
Yeah, this wasn't
Please?
like
You know what, dude?
Thomas.
He ruined it. I'm out.
No, Rudy, come on, man, don't
No,
go.
I'm done. He ruined it.
Damn it! I just want some pie, and I just wanted to eat pie with you guys.
You want some pie?
Yes, sir.
There's some pie. Thanks for ruining my picnic.
I'm Rudy Andrew,
Dave Copel.
Stephen Gatt.
and we are the Weekly Debriefing. Brought to you by Redcon 1. Right? Right?
Right, that's right.
Yeah, this is.
So what's going on this week, guys?
What's going on, guys? I'm Rudy Andrew.
Dave Copel.
Stephen Gatt.
We're back here in Boca Raton, thank God, because it was snowing.
I'm out of the tree. I'm not in the tree this week.
Super cold.
Out of the tree, yeah, you're
I'm
right.
out of the tree.
Yeah, definitely gotta give us some room this time. It's weird.
Sometimes you just gotta come out of the tree, you know.
Yeah, you gotta-
Was the
you gotta-
cold really that bad,
No,
though?
for me and you, no.
It was
Absolutely
very tolerable in terms
not.
of
Well, no,
cold.
you're from Michigan.
Yeah, but I haven't been there in 7 years.
Yeah,
dude.
but there's been years where you like have to walk backwards because the wind is blowing at you, and it's like that.
Here
bad.
or-
no, in
No.
Columbus.
Oh yeah. Oh,
We got off
No, it's
easy in
definitely been
Columbus.
way worse, but it was still.
Well, it was 16 degrees on Monday. You guys are already gone, but
Oh, was it? We got a cold front.
yeah,
coming
we got a
in?
cold
Well,
front.
hey, when we were shooting, it was like 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's warm, dude. I only put a jacket on because you made me feel like I was an asshole. Anyways,
I
moving
didn't,
on. Let's
I didn't want to get accused of being
Well,
that guy that tries to
same-
act
yeah,
tough because
yeah, same here.
I'm not cold. I really wasn't cold.
I wasn't
But
cold either.
What do we got going on?
I'm
Rudy?
sweating right now, though, but
I was cold.
let's talk about the results of the Arnold Classic.
Yes.
First things first, huge congrats to our boy Luke Sando on
Yes.
placing third at the 2019 Arnold Classic.
Congratulations.
We're all very proud and happy for you, dude. Now you go to Australia and you win that because I believe William and Brandon are not doing the show. Is what I
Well, if
heard.
William and Brandon are out, then mathematically,
Right.
Luke's the guy.
Right, and it gives him an extra 2 weeks to tighten up even more. So
Not that conditioning was an issue for him,
Right.
in my opinion.
I don't think at all.
no, I think he's
I
one
think
of the most
he's
skilled guys in the show.
he's just not quite there size wise in a few
Right.
areas, but he hasn't been on the stage that long. So,
Right.
But don't
you're
you
gonna
think
see a
just
very-
adding the size is a little bit easier than getting leaner?
I completely agree because we've seen guys like Cedric McMillan who have yet to nail their conditioning. It's always like,
Right.
oh, once this guy nails his conditioning, he's going to be this great bodybuilder. Fast forward 7 fucking years later, they still haven't nailed it. It's
8.
It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna learn how to manipulate their sodium in their
Right.
water any better.
Cedric hasn't nailed it since 2011.
Exactly.
Since he turned pro at the Nationals. I think it was 2011. I could be wrong. But.
So Luke's you know
Especially if that's
in
your
third
job.
place. He's the things to get to first place are very attainable for him in my opinion.
I agree. He's very much the Dorian of this generation, I would say. Like he's
Oh, yeah.
posing,
But
he's
aesthetic
everything.
though. Aesthetic.
Yeah, his
Very
waist
aesthetic,
very,
yes.
very. He can hit a vacuum at
Yeah.
his size, which
Yep.
is very impressive. And I will say personally, Luke is one of my favorite bodybuilders just because of his personality.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
he actually, it's not like talking to the door handle over here, which
It's the whole door.
yeah, it's the
It
whole
is.
door.
It's like the whole door and it opens and closes.
It's got
Yeah.
a window too.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's give a huge congrats to our boy, the Bull,
Doubles. Double.
George Peterson, on winning
Yes.
the Classic Physique title. We all kind of knew that going in.
I was extremely
Yeah.
impressed with George. He was the favorite going into it,
Yeah.
and to me, nobody came close to his conditioning, the size. Once they turned him around in that lineup, I knew it was game over.
Game over.
I didn't even need. I could go back to my hotel room and jerk off because I knew he was going to win.
Right. I will
I
say
did the same thing.
we need to give.
Well, you did it during the show. It was different. It was weird. I
hold
removed
on.
myself.
We have to give. Yeah, that was weird, dude. You couldn't wait. You're just fapping in the fucking stands. It was just like,
It's like Pee Wee Herman.
yeah, man. It's
You gotta do what you gotta do, okay?
Anyways,
It's a long weekend.
Let's
He's
give a
stressed.
shout out.
Weekend, I
Let's
was
give a shout out to
stressed.
somebody that used to be with us. He's not on the team anymore, but he did look good.
Steve
Wait a second,
Glorious.
Steve
The
Glorious.
glorious Steve Glorious.
Glorious Steve
Mr.
Glorious.
Proper. He's not Mr. Proper anymore. I think he's just
No,
Glorious
yeah.
Steve
I
Glorious.
think- no, because that was our thing. We gave him Glorious Steve Glorious. So
Well, he
can't-
changed his Instagram name. It was originally Mr. Proper.
Yeah, so he can't steal our stuff.
But he did something
But he did
that
look good.
I recommend to a lot of these younger guys is don't tell anyone you're doing a show.
Right.
Because you're going to have less stress going into it.
Probably shouldn't
less
either,
pressure. Obviously, when you're at a pro level, things like lists get released and supplement companies and apparel companies, whatever company you're with, they're going to want to hype it. But in my opinion, no one even knew he was doing the show.
He shouldn't do what you tell your employees to do and dye their hair blonde.
You don't like the blonde look? I liked it.
He looked like a pineapple.
Yeah, but see, when you think of bodybuilders, when people that don't like know everything about the sport, they'll talk about Kai Green. They'll be like, oh, the guy with the hair braid, or they'll talk about Jay Cutler.
So
Like, oh, the guy with the
the
slick back hair
is what separates each bodybuilder.
Yeah, but is that like a
and
shtick?
gives them their
It's not a
identity?
gimmick, right?
Like Jay Cutler with the.
Yeah.
It's gonna
With
help
your hair.
him. It's gonna help
Yeah.
him build a name because they're gonna say, "Oh, did you watch the Arnold? Yeah. Oh my God, that guy with the yellow hair. He looked so good. You know what I mean? It's
That's
gonna help.
valid.
It's gonna help build his notoriety a little bit.
That's
But
valid.
in my opinion, amazing physique. One of the most classic physiques
I'll give him
that
props.
you're ever gonna see.
He did look great.
What's the next move for these guys though? I mean, I'm talking about Luke, George. Steve
George wins the
Rogers.
Olympia. What do you mean?
So George is gonna do the Olympia. Do you think guys
win the Olympia.
Do you think a guy like Steve is gonna do another show or shut it down? And because he's qualified at this point, right? If he got second at the Arnold.
I still think you should go to.
No, shut it down.
Why not do Pittsburgh?
Because shut it down.
Get a
ready.
win. Get a win. Get a win. On your
No, you guys think about it all wrong. You do those international Arnolds, you get that paycheck.
It's true.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's where the money is these Arnolds.
All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about something that just dropped. I think it was last week. Hulk Hogan. Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm a huge Hulk Hogan fan. It's the whole reason I even started lifting weights. I didn't want to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to be a professional wrestler since I was like the age of 2.
It's like every kid's dream, though.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you're not special.
No. Special in other ways, but
Yeah, sure. Me too.
so Chris Hemsworth got casted to be Hulk Hogan in the biopic. You guys know anything about Hogan? He's like 6'8", and at his prime he was like
So
over
I
300
know
pounds.
you're not a big fan of this, and I'm not completely sold on this, but I'm not as skeptical as you, and I'll tell you why. I've seen so many people cast in these biopics, and I
Yeah.
think, what the hell are they thinking?
Yeah.
And then that first picture comes out, or that trailer comes out, I'm like, oh my God, they nailed it.
I like Chris Hemsworth as an actor. Like that movie Rush is like one of my favorite movies
Oh,
ever.
he's a great actor.
I just size wise, it's gonna unless he puts on some serious size and just gets deballed out. I don't see him how he can fill.
No,
in
but you
those
got to think
shoes.
of the Hollywood effect, though. Once you're on screen, it's different, especially
True.
once they cast with everybody else on the set that are smaller people. He's
True.
going to give that illusion, just like bodybuilding,
Right.
as a bigger.
Well, right. Well, I mean, you
presence.
could tell in like the Avengers movies, like he looks jacked as shit,
Right,
and then
right.
he's really not though.
No.
Well,
It's like 200 pounds.
here's my
Right.
question to you. If not Chris Hemsworth, who else? I mean, you could throw a bodybuilder in there, but to me, I'd rather have a proper portrayal
Yeah.
of Hulk Hogan's life than maybe someone that's 10 pounds more muscular that just butchers the role.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with this. I
So
can
you're
see him
saying-
having the mustache.
So you would sacrifice the aesthetic or the look for better acting.
A little bit, not too much. I'm not saying that Adrian Brody should get in there and start doing one of these, but
We don't need him to ruin this movie like
but
he ruined the
I
Predator
think
series.
the new one was good.
The new one was good
New
because
one's
he
good.
wasn't in it though.
They go up and down.
The pianist.
You
is
like,
taken out.
you like the
Come
Danny
on.
Glover one?
Yeah.
Do you like the Alien vs. the Predator?
Yes.
Yes.
You like the Alien vs. Predator too?
Which
Kind
one
of
was that?
sucked. Yeah, you don't even
I
remember.
don't remember that one.
Yeah, exactly, because it sucked. Anyways,
Anyways,
I'm
yeah.
I'm a big fan of this role. I think Chris Hemsworth is very animated, and he does a lot of really serious roles, and people don't truly see
He's just
how.
gotta get the voice though.
The voice is a big concern because he's not
They'll
even American.
give him a voice coach.
He's
though.
got
I mean,
he's got like an Australian accent, right?
But is he gonna do the whole Hulk Hogan haircut?
I'm sure.
He has
He's
to.
bald.
Of
Like, that's gonna be
course.
epic.
It's gonna be a
Of
wig
course,
though.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's got to be. It's
Listen,
Hollywood.
have you
Come on.
look at Hollywood? What it does. I mean,
All right, that's enough about movies.
Yeah.
The thing is like, we're talking about this now. We're gonna completely forget about it by the time we even see a trailer.
and then you're gonna see the movie and be like, "Oh, that
it's
was
gonna take
awesome."
like 2
Yeah,
years.
Right. Yeah.
We'll see. It's
Hey,
cool.
hold on, real quick. Is The Rock producing it?
I didn't see anything like that. I don't know if it's a WWE film. I certainly hope it's not because they made some terrible movies.
Right.
You didn't like Marine
Um,
675?
They need like Universal. It needs to be like
Yeah.
Universal
Well,
or.
Real quick, that movie that came out, Fighting With My Family, it's about Paige.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, they got great
is
reviews.
it good?
I heard it was great.
Oh, I didn't even know it was
The
out.
Rock
I saw the
produced that
trailer. It
one.
looked pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about more mainstream news.
More mainstream news, yes.
Something you guys brought to my attention, which I thought was wild.
Yes. Boston Red Sox pitcher Stephen Wright just suspended for 80 games for growth hormone.
I didn't even know they
So-
could test for that.
Well, it's not that they can
kidding,
test
but-
for the particular substance.
Yeah.
It's more that they can just see if your levels are elevated. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing we've seen with all these UFC fighters and the testosterone ratios.
Right.
Stefan's a little more knowledgeable on this kind of thing, so I'll let him give a little explanation.
Well, I want to know your guys' personal before we get into it. Do you really care? Personally?
Here's why I care. I think that if we just said, go to fucking town, take whatever you want, it would be more fair and it would be
100%.
more
I agree.
entertaining. However, I
100%.
think that if certain people are doing it and certain people are not, it's kind of this weird gray area where I'm like, yes, morally I think it's okay, but it's kind of bullshit if you lose the World Series by one play or 1 yard or one
They
down.
should have been on the shit too. That's their fault.
So you're saying you gotta just keep up.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Because hold on, if I'm paying money, I want to see some freaks. It's entertainment.
Well,
that's all it is.
Not
Just
even listen. With professional sports, you are utilizing your body in a way that the average human does not, right?
Right.
So what do performance enhancers ultimately do for you is they really improve recovery.
Right.
They improve
baseball,
sleep.
yes.
They improve protein synthesis, especially when you're beating your body down. I mean, you look at like UFC fighters, and the majority of them have low testosterone and issues with the pituitary gland because of the head trauma. NFL football, another perfect example. If you just allowed professional athletes to use, let's say even let's call it TRT under a doctor's care, because that's probably the best way that it could be monitored and not necessarily abused. I think that you would see a lot less injuries. You would see obviously bigger, faster, stronger athletes.
It's a great movie, by the way.
Yeah, it is a great movie. And I don't advocate this for kids or
College level.
College level. No, absolutely not. You need to get to where you're getting naturally. But using performance enhancers when you're a professional athlete, I'm sorry, but I don't agree that it should be illegal.
I agree.
I think Stephen brings up a good point, is that a lot of the times these things get reported on, and the reporters, they don't know what the different steroids are and what they do.
They have no idea.
If you were to really sit down and Google these, not only just the compounds they're taking, but the levels, it's mostly just for recovery.
100%.
Now, I do have a question. A little sidebar action.
Uh-huh.
We never hear about this in the NHL, hockey players, ever.
Well, that's a good question. I would actually like to research what their testing protocol
You know what I
is,
mean?
but I'm sure.
These guys are getting drilled left and right.
I'm sure that there are NHL hockey players that are using.
Oh, I agree.
I
performance
think
enhancers.
it's more
They never get popped.
painkillers would be more. It's more of a rampant thing.
Sure,
Because
right.
with hockey, it's such a yes, they're hitting each other, but it's such a skill sport.
Yeah, that you don't need to be.
What is taking a decacycle really going to do for a hockey player besides
Nothing.
recovery?
Right.
And slow you down on the ice.
It's always. I'm telling you, it's always baseball. The NFL tests like crazy, but every time it's baseball, it's because we got these guys. Like this guy's a pitcher, okay.
Mm-hmm.
His biggest enemy is his right shoulder. It's
Right.
not. He's not worrying about other players. He's worrying about, okay, I'm on this pitching rotation. Am I still going to be tuned up by the time it's my turn again?
Well, do you think that really what a big problem is the vast majority of people in the world have no idea what they're talking about? I mean, for example,
Huge
I watched
problem.
the other day a Joe Rogan YouTube video of his stance on TRT, and just for the hell of it, I decided to scroll down and look at some of the comments, and there were literally people on there. Oh, TRT is just another word for steroids. Well, yeah, steroids is a broad category
I'm
of
sure some of the
testosterone
dumbasses are
derivatives
gonna
and
comment
growth
on-
hormone. Right.
this
Yeah.
full
I think
outfit
not
stuff.
only are the media outlets covering it unknowledgeable, but the actual people doing the testing, making the policies. If you really looked into this stuff, it is just a complete crapshoot.
100%. Yeah, and they're out. It's like they're outdated too. You got like 50, 60-year-old guys that back in their time, steroids weren't really being used unless you were like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Schwarzenegger.
I thought he was
What?
natty.
Yeah.
Okay. he's
But
not- he's-
anyways,
yeah.
No, I know what you
really,
said.
We could
Yeah.
really get to
He saved you on that one.
We can really get to the root of this issue, and if you research the actual illegalization of steroids, it was completely for moral reasons. The FDA did not have any medical reason or health-related cause to support this
Correct.
ban, and it was 100% because of baseball, because they didn't want little kids thinking that
That they
becoming
need
morally
to-
corrupt. These are like the outdated, like when they were banning like punk rock music in England in the
So wait,
70s.
So
you
why
know?
don't they ban like smoking cigars and drinking booze? Like, I mean, why not ban that? That's terrible for little kids to look up to. Cause
Oh, well, they are banning it in Disney movies now, which is Marvel, Star Wars,
Right.
everything under the Disney umbrella. You will not see
A cigarette.
anybody smoking anymore.
Because like, I mean, look at Babe Ruth. He was a fat pig who smoked, womanized.
Yeah, you're
Drank.
But the core issue here is that there's not enough
You know,
education.
you get what I'm
because-
saying, though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
can.
the same. It's the same
But
thing.
I
You're
can
looking out for
find
the kids.
I can find more evidence that supports
Or all these-
optimizing.
What about all these douchebags that are beating their wives? All these NFL players.
well, this guy was actually
He was
suspended
actually-
for domestic violence.
All right.
Prior
So this
to-
guy's a horrible example.
So he's a bad example, but this literally just happened. So
Right, I know.
and what he was tested for was GHRP2, which is actually not even a synthetic performance enhancer. It's a peptide that tells your pituitary gland to increase its growth hormone production.
So you got popped by peptides.
He got popped.
So I didn't commit the crime. I told you to commit the crime for me. Is basically how I break down this exact classification of drugs.
Right.
Is he's making his body naturally produce more growth hormone. Now, what a lot of people don't know is you can get a prescription for this particular substance. So, I mean, there's tons of things banned by.
Did he get one?
I don't think he had one.
Oh, okay.
But even if you had one, it's
a
still
lot of
you can't take
athletes-
Adderall, you know.
Right, but a lot of athletes do get prescriptions and they still get in trouble for it.
So the one thing with this drug in particular he took is that there's similar drugs that can be taken orally, but the fact that this one has to be injected subcutaneously pretty much
On a nightly
ruins any
course.
chance this guy has of saying,
What's he
"Oh,
gonna
my,
do?"
my trainer
Yeah.
gave it to me. I thought it was vitamin B."
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
this guy knew what he was doing.
No, but at the end of the day, like I was going to say, is I can find so much more evidence that supports optimizing hormone levels, not abusing.
Right.
I don't want you to misconstrue my words.
Right.
Not abusing hormone levels, but optimizing them to an optimal range. It's actually more hazardous to your health to have lower hormone levels than it is to have optimal. So think of that from a professional athlete's perspective. If, let's say, you've been getting your ass beat and you can't recover, you're having a hard time sleeping, you feel like shit, and you realize that, oh, I have a hormone deficiency, why would you not?
Right.
And why do we,
This is a
as-
great pitch. I feel like I'm watching a commercial right now.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like, are you having sleep deficiency,
Right.
Get fit out.
recovery issues?
I'm just
Get grunt.
I'm passionate because I just think that there's so many morons out there that don't understand,
Yep.
you know, that sit in the stands and drink beer and eat pizza. They're like, oh, he's cheating, he's taking this, he's taking that.
Eating the pizza. I can't believe he does that to his own body. This is terrible.
Right.
Guys, I think we're out of time. Stanley's telling us
We're
wrap
definitely
up.
out of time.
We're out
I'm
of
Rudy
time.
Landry,
Dave Coppell.
Stephen Gatt.
and we're out.
Oh, my balls are sweaty.